Hey, what's up guys, Matt here. So today was the day that the Apple Watch was finally released for pre-order and to go ahead and try on and check out in the store. And of course I did that. So I got to wear it for a little bit and I played with it for about 45 minutes. So I kind of got a good feel of what it actually feels like to use an Apple Watch. So this is my hands-on. So I tried both of the versions on, and what I took away from it was that, one, the 38mm is quite small. Actually, they're both pretty small. They look a lot thicker in the pictures, and when you actually have it on your wrist, it's really not that much bigger than a Pebble or any other smartwatch. It's pretty small and doesn't look any thicker than anything else that you've seen in terms of technology on your wrist. Now the one I ended up pre-ordering was the Space Gray Sport 42mm version, and after trying on all the different kinds, I'm pretty happy with that decision. I wanted to get the Apple Watch originally, the stainless steel one, but it's just a little bit too expensive, and I figured that I'd be perfectly happy with the Space Gray Sport model, and after trying it on, it's really the best decision for me at least. So enough with all that other stuff, let's talk about what it's actually like to use, because that's really the big question. Now of course, this was just in the store and I couldn't really do that much with it because it's in the store demo mode. The ones that I use, you could do pretty much everything with it, but since it's not connected to a phone, it can only do so much and there's not all the different apps that you can download and stuff like that. So I just got to get a feel for the user interface and how it works rather than actually how it's gonna work in my everyday life. But once I get the Apple Watch in here studio, then we're gonna actually test it out fully and see how it works in everyday life. But actually using the Apple Watch is a pretty decent experience. I was kind of mixed emotions on the user interface. It just seemed a little bit cluttered and not well thought out, but after using it, it actually does make sense for the most part. As long as you get the different gestures down, like force touch and swiping and using the digital crown, if you can get all those things down and you know that those are something you have to do, and it actually really is not hard to use the Apple Watch. One thing I did notice is that there's just a ton of stuff that you can do on here. Compared to every other smartwatch out there, it really kind of blows them out of the water in terms of stuff that you can do. Now, whether or not that's useful or not, I don't know, that's up to you. But if you want to do those things and you want the most out of a smartwatch, this seems like the one to get. The digital crown works extremely well for scrolling and zooming. I don't know why you want to zoom. You can zoom into a map and your photos and stuff like that. I don't want to be looking at photos on my wrist, but if you do, I guess you can. But for scrolling and stuff, the digital crown works extremely well. It's so smooth. It's like it's in like oil or something. It's really hard to explain, but so smooth, works exactly the way you move it. So if you stop, it stops perfectly. There's no like lag or anything like that. Works really well. The screen looks pretty good. It's an OLED screen, so that means it's gonna be really dark blacks and have some pretty vibrant colors, and it looks really good, at least in the store. Now, people were saying that there was a bit of an air gap because it's not a laminated screen, and I really looked for that. I held it up and looked for a gap, and inside the store, I couldn't see it. But if you go outside, I'm sure it'll be more apparent. But for the size of the screen, it's really not that noticeable. I didn't see, at least in the store. Now I played around with the glances and the notifications and felt how it feels on your wrist and how you contact people. And it's interesting. There's a lot of stuff that you can do here. And it's one of those things, like I said before, you have to really use it in your everyday life to see what it's gonna be like. I really don't know yet. One other thing I really liked about it was the haptic feedback. When it buzzes on your wrist, it doesn't feel like a buzz like something like this does where you can audibly hear it. You don't hear anything, but you just feel it. It kind of feels like everything's going like boom, boom, like onto your wrist. It's hard to explain. It doesn't feel like normal haptic feedback. It's not just a vibration. It feels like pressure. It's weird, but it's really cool and actually makes those buzzes less annoying because you don't hear them, but you kind of feel them. So you know you got something, but it's not like audible and like everyone knows you got a notification. It's much more subtle than that. One thing I was really worried about was whether or not the screen was going to be too small to tap and that you would go to tap something and you would miss. And when I was using it for the 45 minutes, I only missed like maybe 2 or 3 times. Really wasn't that bad. I was expecting to have it happen all the time. But for me, I was able to click on the apps, no problem. Whenever one I wanted to click on, I clicked on it. When I wanted to go back, I can click back. It was not that hard, but I can see that if you have bigger fingers than mine are pretty big, but if you have bigger fingers, then it might be a little bit of an issue, but that wasn't as big of a problem as I thought it was gonna be. Now, of course, I didn't get to test the battery life or what it's like when it's connected to a phone, but that's definitely gonna be coming once I get it in a few weeks. And overall, my impressions are that it's better than I thought it was gonna be. Definitely not perfect. There's some things about it that are still pretty weird, but I'm excited to get it out here in the wild and actually see what it's like to use in everyday life. Like I said, I've been using smartwatches for quite a while now, and I like them, and I want to see what Apple's version has to offer. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, I did spend a lot of time with this. I went into every single part of the watch that I could. If you have questions, leave them down below in the comments and I'll do my best to answer those. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, and if you want to see more Apple Watch content, be sure to hit subscribe so you can see when that is uploaded. Again, my name is Matt, and I'll see you guys in the next video. See ya!